It's video time, everyone. Welcome back to Meineke Cinnamon. We are doing a manifold converter on Exploder with 140,000 miles on it. It's a 14 Exploder with 140K on it. And we always advise some maintenance. So according to other people in our industry, the CAT code means nothing more than just a catalytic converter, but that is not the case. It's not true. So these are the spark plugs that are coming out of the radiator side. Now you see a little corrosion on there, right? You see that rust? So the rust could be from additives or the type of fuel that they're getting, right? So if a gas station that she frequently uses has water in their tanks, where do you think the water's going?
There.
In the fuel, right?
Yeah.
So we got some rust deposits, and that also could come from the PCV system. You follow me? This also has a malfunctioning purge valve. So I just wanted to show you guys the spark plugs. So they are worn. I'm going to see if I can't get you a good picture of this, right? So they're not completely worn out. Actually, let's get that back in here. Deposits. And when you get deposits on your spark plugs, what do deposits do to your spark plugs?
Wear them out quicker. They cause
No, so let me explain after Jude stops running the air gun. So deposits, depending on what they're made up of, right? So when the fuel gets in the combustion chamber and fires, what you have is an inaccurate spark. So instead of it burning the vapor, it'll start burning on your spark plug. And then when you see spark plugs that are full of like oil and shit like that, well, the oil hides the spark, and then it just continues to foul itself out. So this actually, for 140,000 miles, these spark plugs are probably not that old. This is an Uber and Lyft driver. I would say my concern would be, where is the rust coming from? But I would say it's possibly from fuel or the PCV system. I'm not overly concerned with it because it's not horrible. But what we don't see here, right, is what? Black soot. And I know Ryan soaked the piss out of this converter. So let's take a closer look at this one. So now we're going to look in this cylinder here. You can see it's sooted a little bit, but then you come to the next cylinder, it's not so sooted, right? And then this cylinder here, not so sooted. So in the previous video, we showed a converter that was on the car for how long? A week of driving, and it was already heavily sooted, which it should not be. So this engine's actually fairly in good condition. It's not great, and this is already an aftermarket converter, I think, already. Let me take a closer look at it. This might be OEM.
I think it is.
This
OEM.
still might be OEM. But the point of this is that the better the combustion is, the cleaner your exhaust ports will be. And at 140,000 miles, I'm going to say that you can almost see the back of the intake here, how clean it is. So this engine's running fairly well. So if you have black soot in your exhaust and you're not a diesel, you got a problem. Or you got a boosted vehicle that has too much blow-by and too much air-fuel ratio enrichment. So
Basically running like a diesel.
the catalytic converter, the exhaust manifolds, the spark plugs, they all tell a story, and this tells me that this engine is in fairly good shape. Like I said, my only concerns are that. Why do we have rust on the ground strap here? But it's not so bad. You're an Uber and Lyft driver. It's possible they're buying fuel anywhere and everywhere, and probably the cheapest places. And you'd be shocked how much water is actually in fuel today, depending on where you go. I've actually was at Wawa, and then when they have the caps where the tankers fill the systems, when they pull those caps off, they cover those holes, there's like a foot drop down sometimes, and what happens is they fill with water. Do you think that they're completely watertight?
No.
No. Do you think that the guys are out there draining them regularly?
No.
Probably not. how much water is getting in there when they do the transition, you know, because you're not getting it all out. And if it's a high volume fuel station, right, and in a rainy area or a rainy climate, that water is getting in those tanks. Now, I'm sure they have water separators and all that shit, but nothing's 100%. And I'm not saying that this is water, but we have rust-colored spark plugs, so that tells me some type of water, vapor, or moisture is getting in the combustion chamber. And it's not horrible. Thanks for watching.